Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun with Benzion, part of the Greater Yeshiva YouTube. Today we're learning Kesubos, Iyun Hey 75. We're talking about mumim, right? Blemishes that possible in marriage, right? If there's a stipulation going into the marriage, mumin, that the woman doesn't have mumin, or similarly, the Gemara mentions in the Brisa, if the woman stipulated that she doesn't want her husband to have mumin, right? You could invalidate it. Now, the Gemara mentions a big difference already on the top of Ayin and Aleph, right? When it comes to mumin by a woman, if the man stipulates doesn't want his wife to have mumin, even after the erisin, she goes to the doctor and gets healed from her mumin. She doesn't have them anymore. It doesn't make a difference. At Shas erisin, she had them. Husband didn't want to get engaged to a woman who has mumin. Even though technically she doesn't have mumin now, it doesn't make a difference. He can invalidate the marriage. However, when it comes to the woman invalidating the marriage, saying the man has mumin, if he after the erisin gets his mumin removed before the nisuin, presumably, then it will be okay. That doesn't invalidate the marriage. What's the difference? What's the explanation of the difference between the two? So I like to suggest the following answer is that, and based on the continuation of the Gemara, I'll explain it a little better, that as I mentioned before, Erisin, when you get engaged, technically either Midal Rice or Midal Rabbanah, you're not supposed to have Bia together. However, you are allowed to have foreplay. Foreplay is allowed after Erisin, contrary to maybe poskim say, but I think it is allowed. It's clear from the Gemara and Daf Yud Beis and Yehuda in Miyachtin law, they would be miyachid, they would put them in yichud before the marriage so they can be familiar with each other, meaning they engage in foreplay, and sometimes they led to bia, in which case you can't be towing tinus pasulim because there's a chance that they were boel. Once you engage in foreplay, it's very likely it'll come to actual intercourse. So foreplay is allowed, maybe even encouraged before the marriage, after erisin. So I want to discuss what foreplay, the meaning of foreplay for a man and for a woman. I think this is pretty evident. Anyone who's married, some people are married, still don't understand this, but foreplay for a woman is very, very important. For a man, not so important. Maybe a man will find it enjoyable for like 5 minutes, most men, but women would prefer it being a half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour. They like to have foreplay. They like it. They enjoy it. They enjoy it maybe more than the intercourse itself. Maybe more than the orgasm. I'm not sure about that. Orgasm and foreplay, but or the intercourse. I'd have to take a survey. I'm not really sure, but they enjoy it a lot, and for them, it's very important. So, therefore, a woman, if she takes she makes a tanai in the kedushin that I don't want you to have mumin, and he goes to a doctor and heals them before the nisuin. So during the erisin, really only what's allowed is foreplay. So even if he has mumim, things which are blemishes and not comfortable to be with, like the Gemara says, Tav lemesav tandu lemesav armala. It's better to live two people, two bodies. Tandu, two bodies, lemesav armala. She don't be by herself. Women love you, even just not being together, just hugging, kissing. They love that stuff. So just being together in bed, foreplay, like that's the best for them. And even if they have a small mum, it's not going to bother them so much. When will it bother them? If they actually get married. If they get married, so then they're known as a couple, a married, and the husband is known to have a mum. He's been missing an arm or something like that, or something like that. So then it's going to bother her because then there's a secondary thing about the stature of a woman. She wants to feel like she's married to an accomplished man, a strong man, a man of stature. Like the Gemara says, she wants to be married. She wants to be married, but she wants to be married to a man of stature. And even though technically she'll marry a man with lower stature, a short man, a man who has a lowly job, she'll go and commit adultery because ultimately she wants to be married to a real man. And if not, she'll seek that by committing adultery, the Gemara says. She'll do adultery because she wants ultimately to be married to a real man, feel supported by a real man. Have the attraction to a real man, a cool, supportive, strong, real man. But she's willing during the foreplay to give in a little bit. However, the man for foreplay for the man is not so important, and even the littlest mum by the woman is going to bother him. So therefore, after erisin, she has a mum, even though technically in the middle of the erisin she went to a doctor and got healed. Since part of the erisin, part of the engagement, she had a mum, even a small mum, like the Gemara says, she has bad breath or something like that. The littlest thing is going to bother the man because he doesn't enjoy foreplay as much. The littlest thing is gonna throw him off. So therefore, he's makbid even on a mum during the erisin foreplay. Now, the Gemara says that there's certain movement that possible by a woman, like halitosis. She has bad breath. Now, if she has bad breath, the Gemara says by a Kohen, it doesn't matter because while he's doing the avoda, the mum only possibly doing the avoda, he can throw in some mouthwash, he can chew some gum, he can take some Tic Tacs, whatever he can. He won't have bad breath. The woman, lo efshar. What does that mean, lo efshar? She's always talking with her. Technically, it's possible that she always has mouthwash. She can always put mouthwash um, when they're together or when she's next to him. However, the moment the disqualification by thing is that it bothers the man so much. Even a little thing is going to bother him for the foreplay, which is the beginning of the intercourse. Should be the beginning of the intercourse. Because you're an ona, you're ma'ana the woman just to go straight to the intercourse. So that's why the lo efshar, because even if she puts something in, there's sometimes she's not going to be able to put something in. Even if she does put something in, it'll still have a little bit of smell. So even a little bad smell would possibly would I don't think it's saying she's not. It's not. It is. I mean, technically, it's probably impossible to always make sure she has some mouthwash in. But even if she doesn't, she always puts it in. Still, a little bad smell will bother him. Will throw him off. By a woman, it doesn't possible. I don't think a bad breath would possible by a woman. It only or emotive by a woman, right? Or she has bad smell on her body, right? She doesn't put her perfume, right? So that would bother him a little bit because it's talking about the foreplay, which would bother him. A little thing bother him. For her, it wouldn't bother so much. Hope you enjoyed today's share. I think it's true. See you in the next one.